Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Rising Phoenix Racing League. Today is the finale for season 4.5, and the stream is working, so that's good. But yeah, today is the finale day, and we're at Mexico today. Obviously, following the usual standard procedure of short quali and then a 50% race. Let me just... There we go. Okay. Let me close over my door. There we go. And let's get into it. Alright. Alright. I have everything I need, and I'm ready to go. Alright, so let's see if it is wet or dry. It is dry and sunny for the beginning of qualifying today. So now we just have to see what tires people choose and when they go out and in what order, and who will be the first one out. Oh, it's going to be MMA Slash being the first driver to come out, I believe. Yep. All right, so let's go with him for the first run. And Swanee joins. So he won't be able to participate in qualifying, but he'll be in the race for sure. So MMA Slash on the first run, going on the hard white striped tire. Let's see. Then we have Colin opting for the mediums, PG Killer on the mediums, Slash on the hards as I said before, and then everyone else is on the softs. So let's follow Slash through the outlap here as he gets ready for his first run. Now, something about this track, as you can clearly see, it is it's very long from the start of the race to the first corner. So there's going to be a lot of potential overtaking via slipstream before the first corner even begins. So the person in pole position could actually have a disadvantage and end up like P3 or P4 by the end of the straight, depending on how things go. So they have to be pretty careful about being that high up. Actually, it's one of the tracks where being in front can be a disadvantage. You always want to be behind until the very last moment, basically. At least that's how it is on some circuits, in some various forms of car racing, motorsport. But yeah, following Slash through the second sector at the moment. Pretty good lap so far. Taking the S's very well. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. A little bit of a slide, but he corrects it. Purple in the first two sectors so far. Although I think Chaos behind him is beating that. As Chaos is on the softs and Slash is on the hards, of course. So it's going to be over a second difference, at least, It's a 116.5 for Slash, and for Chaos. Oh, Chaos had an invalidated lap time there, I believe, because no time was posted. So he's going for another run. Ooh, Button goes pole with a 15.1 on the softs. Flexman still getting some slipstream from the Haas coming out of the pits. And that is Button's back. Oh, never mind. The Haas coming or going into about to go into the pits on their in lap. There we go. Yeah, never mind what I say half the time. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's go on board here with Maestro as he finishes his lap. As Conal retires from the session, and TJ goes pole on a 2-lap-old softs with a 15.0. I believe Willow will be coming into the pits here, as Big Slater's about to start his lap in the Renault. Purple in the first sector on the softs. Using all the curb there and getting an invalidation off of it. I thought that was going to happen going into turn 1, to be honest. He went quite wide there on the curb, trying to use as much of the track as possible. Which is how you get a lot more speed around every track in this game. But unfortunately, the second time of asking, it didn't work out, and that's an invalidated lap time there for Slater. Now in the sister runout of Bazooka Joe, we have them about to start their out lap, or about to start their hot lap. As T-Funky is letting through PG Killer behind, who is on a lap. Currently 8 seconds up because their first time was not representative. Into the final corner, and it is a 17.581 on the mediums. Alright, so now Bazooka Joe starting his hot lap, number 86. Oh yeah, I should probably check the chat. Hello, Lando, and yeah, Cassix. Ooh, and validation from Bazooka Joe. Let's Chaos through on an outlap as Colin comes into the pits, and so does PG Killer. Cobalt currently sat in P5, 2/10 up on his time in the McLaren, navigating through the S section. As Chaos is starting their lap, as their teammate Slash is coming out of the pits. Then you have Flex Marcel also on an attempt. One of the 4 drivers not to set a lap time yet. And Cobalt does improve by nearly 2/10 to go just into the 15s by 1 millisecond. Alright, so Flex Marcel is up next. And goes pole position with a 14.814. Very well done by the Ferrari driver, putting the prancing horse on the top step at the moment. Big Slater outlap, Slash outlap. Chaos is on a lap, so let's follow him here as he completes it. Currently half a second up, reportedly, in the second sector split time. Up to the line, and it is P2 with a 14.9. So 2 14s currently as a heavy head joins. But yeah, 2:14 times currently set. Let's see, Cobalt's coming into the pits. Let's see, Slash is on a lap, I believe. He's just setting a bunch of laps on the hards here. I think he's just getting in some late practice before switching to the softs or the mediums to get a more competitive run in. Because currently everyone is on the softs, except for this Alfa Romeo here. As you can see, speaking of Alfa Romeo, the sister Alpha of Chaos, gives Slash some slipstream and then lets him through. Oh, bless me, had to sneeze. So coming through the second sector. Oh, that's odd. It says Slash is on an outlap, although I don't think that's accurate because I remember it not saying that before. And he was using all of his ERS, and I don't know, maybe it was invalidated. I'm not sure. That was quite odd. Yeah, this isn't a serious attempt at this lap, so I'm not too sure what happened there. But Big Slater, another invalidated lap. Really unfortunate for him. And he's very low on fuel, so he has to pit again. He's gonna have one more attempt, I believe, one more serious attempt at this. Bazooka Joe's still in the pits as well. Let's see, the Haas of Bunsback and TJ. TJ just completed his lap, going P3, I believe, just now. And Button is on an invalidated lap, so he might be going one more time around and then start his second consecutive attempt then. As Racing Maestro is coming out of the pits, as well as Chaos once again. So let's see what Button does here. If he goes on another lap, and it looks like he is. He has enough fuel for a max lap, it appears. He has around 4 laps of fuel at the moment, so he can go on a couple laps. And here he goes. Max ERS. And blasting down the straight. About to head into turn 1. Using the curb on the outside. Hitting the apex. Taking a nice racing line. Hitting turns 2 and 3. Nice and wide on the exit. Well, actually, wide but not too wide. He nailed it perfectly there. Very well. in the first sector, into sector 2. Very good. The double apex corner there. And now into the fast S's. Ooh, a little bit loose there, but a purple second sector, so it's working good. I believe that said he was 3/10 up, which if that's true, he is on course for pole position here, or he could be very close to it. That is up to the line. It is pole position by 7 milliseconds for the Haas driver, number 13 of Buttons back. He is on pole. So that second attempt, what happened in the first attempt, he doesn't care about anymore because that lap was magical. That was a great lap. Next up, let's see, we have Chaos. Currently about 10th up in the first sector, so let's follow him through the S's. And he's actually followed by 4 cars and a train here. I don't think all of them are on laps though. Chaos currently just up on his time by 24 milliseconds. At this rate he will stay P3, although he will get into the .8s, I hope, or I assume. If he can nail the rest of this corner here. And up to the line, it is at 14.8, so nearly P2, but not quite. That's qualifying, I'd say, done for him. Mathematically, I think it's impossible to go back around at 3 minutes left. But Cobalt's starting his lap now, so let's go with him. As well as Racing Maestro. Alright, so yeah, now Slash, currently on the medium tires for his lap. Or for his more serious lap. Ooh, an invalidation for Cobalt in the S's. And an invalidation for Racing Maestro as well, who comes into the pits quickly. Meanwhile, Colin just improved by 1.4 seconds on the softs to go P9 with a 16.4. Let's see. Here we have TJ coming up to the line. Let's see if he'll improve. He will. Oh no, he won't. Just barely won't. So close. Nearly identical lap times there. Or 2 times. But yeah, currently he's on 4 lap old softs. Oh, but his best. But everyone's best at the most were only 1 lap old. So yeah, no one's gonna start on very worn tires. Ooh, as TJ retries the DNF and does so. Successfully DNFs there, as T-Funky has decided that that his session is over, and Big Slater is on his Big Slater and Bazooka Joe are both on their final runs. Both of the Renaults hoping to set some good laps here at the very end of the session. Ooh, quite wide there. Let's see if Bazooka Joe can do the same thing. Ooh, an invalidation for Bazooka Joe, which means he will start last. Very unfortunate for him. Let's see what the other Renault can do from this point onwards. A purple middle sector is looking very promising first gear for the extra rotation into the hairpin, and then blasting out of the final corner up to the line. It's going to be a 14.1 to put him on to put Big Slater on pole by a mile, 6/10, nearly 7/10. Pole position is 100% Big Slater's at this point. Let's see what Slash can do though. Let's see if he can get up any positions. Oh no, he can't because an invalidation. Very unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo driver. And now we just watch Button. Then after Button crosses the line, qualifying will be effectively over. And Button cannot improve his time. Just barely can't. But very close. And here comes Slash to finish off the session. And there we go. Alright, so your qualifying order is Big Slater with a very dominant pole position. Buttons back, Flex Marcel, Chaos, TJ, MMA Slash, T Funky, Cobalt, PG Killer, Maestro, Colin, Conal, and Bazooka Joe. Yeah, that was a crazy lap by Big Slater there. It's a real shame that Conal and Bazooka Joe couldn't set times, but I'm sure they'll be pretty quick in the race. So I do not doubt their ability of them being able to come through the field per se. All right. Alright, so it is a sunny day here for race day as well. And here we go. Formation lap about to begin. Let's get the tire position change data for the start of the race. And alright, here we go. So, Big Slater currently leading. He's proven to be very quick in qualifying. Button and Marcel pretty close. And then the rest of the field I'm not too sure. But they are all very experienced and very talented. And they can all race. So, no matter what position it's for, I'm going to do my best to try and cover it. And hopefully we can have some excitement. Alright, so yeah, like I said in qualifying, Slater is actually going to have probably one of the worst relative runs down to turn 1 out of the whole field, unless he gets an absolute mega launch, and is able to just pull away from everyone. But with the slipstream and everything, it's going to be very hard to do that, even on the highest ERS mode. But I don't want to underestimate anybody, especially someone who has gone pole by that much, questioning whether they can keep their lead or not. But yeah, we will see what happens in just 30 seconds or so here. So everyone is now forming up. Alright, here we go. So everyone is officially here. And here we go. So, clear track in front of Big Slater and Button's back. Here we go. 5 red lights here in Mexico for the finale. Lights out and away we go. It's a pretty good start by Button relative to Big Slater, and here comes Flex Marcel. It's like 4 wide. I can't see the camera. Here we go. Okay, so 3 wide into turn 1. Big Slater is sandwiched in the middle, and Marcel takes the lead. Marcel from 3rd position has the best starting position of anyone there, which is what I'm sure a lot of you already knew, and what I was thinking there due to the slipstream. But yeah, Flex Marcel leads from Big Slater, from Button, who's fighting TJ. Then you have Chaos, T-Funky, Cobalt, and Slash battling it out. Oh, Haas going, Haas having to cut the corner. Oh, twice there. Button really struggling on this first lap in that sector. So at the moment, Flex Marcel leads after lap 1. Oh, here we go, TJV, or a TJ and Chaos here, side by side, really close. Oh, into turn 1, and Chaos keeps the lead in that battle. Let's see for the battle for P7 here what happens. Slash going down the inside of Cobalt, but Cobalt gets inside line, tries to block him off, and successfully does so. Slash gets a penalty. When Colin getting out of shape there at the end of the S's, leaving him exposed to Bazooka Joe a little bit. Ooh, and Colin gets the move done on Heavy Head. A very nice move. It was Flex Marcel leading, gets a penalty. As Colonel and Trix and T-Funky both go off the track a little bit. Oh, and that's Cobalt, who has spun, or who has been hit and spun as a result of that. Currently down, of course, in last place right now. Ooh, as PG Killer has spun as well. 2 spins very close to each other. No damage for either of them, though, thankfully, I believe. And PG Killer's been disqualified for going the wrong way while trying to turn around. I feel really bad for him there. That was very unfair. He really could not do anything else. But unfortunately for him, he's disqualified and will be classified in P15, having completed only or less than 3 laps out of 36. Here we go, the 2 Red Bulls fighting. Racing Maestro with DRS, but with less ERS usage. compared to his teammate Swanee. Let's see at the front what's happening. Alright, let's go back to this. Ooh, Maestro having to cut the corner there. So is Heavyhead a little bit. Ooh, and another moment there, and a lot of damage for Cobalt. He's gonna have to hope for a safety car at this point, because he's gonna have to pit right now. I'd say probably go on to the hards. Hope to go to the end, maybe. But I'm not sure. Oh, and Big Slater is back into the lead of the race in front of Flex Marcel. And has DRS coming into turn 4. Chaos with a penalty. When Swanee's out of the session after an accident with someone else, I believe. Oh, it's Heavyhead. After a collision with Heavyhead, I believe. Yeah, and Heavyhead has no wing now, and there is a safety car due to that. So due to that incident between those two. So yeah, this is obviously the golden time to pit, as everyone is doing right now. Flex Marcel onto the hards, Big Slater onto the mediums, Buns back onto the mediums. TJ onto the softs. Colonel onto the mediums, Cobalt onto the hards, etc, etc, and Slash onto the softs. With the wing change, I believe, for many of them, or for a couple of them. As here they are working on Heavyhead's car. But as everyone comes back out, Bazooka Joe, who has started on the mediums, is in a very good spot right now, because he started last in 15th, or I'm in 13th, sorry. Last out of the qualifiers, yet now he is effectively leading this race, because the medium runners will have to stop again. The hard runners will probably, okay, so Bazooka Joe, he'll probably have to pit when? Maybe lap 14 maybe or so to go to the hards, I'd say. If he does that, the other medium runners will eventually have to pit again anyway. So he'll still be in front of them, provided he can keep them behind him for the stint. And then the hard runners, which include Cobalt, who is currently at the back, so I'm not sure he'll be threatening him too much, unless something crazy, unless like something big happens. And Flex Marcel, who is quick, but those hards might drop off by the end as well, actually, because doing 30 laps on the hards is not easy. So yeah, we will see what happens here. But yeah, right now Bazooka Joe, I'd say, is in a very healthy position. As Button pits from the mediums, probably onto the hards, I would assume. Maybe change his mind a little bit. Oh no, onto another pair of mediums. Alright. Maybe he has wing damage? Yes he does. Alright, so it's currently a Renault 1-2. Chaos trying to get some heat into his tires there, up in P4. Alright, and here we go. Safety car coming in, and away goes Bazooka Joe. So now let's see how if Big Flitter can catch up and pass him here. And it looks like that will be the case, but Flex Marcel wants a little bit as well. And TJ. Ooh, and a little bit of contact there between the Ferrari and Alpha. Oh! Flex Marcel almost sent to a spin due to hitting TJ, but then Chaos corrected him there. Chaos with a penalty. Quite wide by a couple there. Now, Colonel versus T-Funky into the stadium section, as well as TJ and Bazooka Joe. TJ on the softs, Bazooka Joe on slightly worn mediums at this point. Oh, and now Chaos getting past Bazooka Joe, or trying to. Flex Marcel is changing his wing. Ooh, and a lock up there from Chaos. Almost loses it, but does well to keep it in control. As we have a big battle here, 2x2 into the double apex corner. Ooh, Racing Maestro almost into the back of Bazooka Joe. Bazooka Joe falling down places really quickly here. Really unfortunate restart for him. And here comes Racing Maestro. Now, does Bazooka Joe have damage? That might be the reason why. No, he doesn't. Huh? The tires shouldn't be going off this much. Only 8 laps old, but it appears he's getting massive understeer here. He's really struggling against all these cars. And here we go, Cobalt versus Button. And Slash is past Bazooka. Ooh, and so some lag here. Jovi currently leading the race, but will eventually, obviously, quite soon actually, have to make a stop. But showing really good pace there on those softs. Big Slater pushing really hard here, trying to catch TJ. He will have DRS.